So you're living in Colorado, home to endless mountains, overpriced coffee shops, ski resorts that are packed tighter than sardine cans, and let's face it, real estate prices that are sky high. Now you're thinking to yourself, hey, maybe it's time for a change. What if I told you that there's another outdoor paradise where you can still kayak, ski, fish, hike, and actually afford the home that you live in without having to sell a kidney or your firstborn? Strap in, Colorado, because Minnesota, and specifically the Brainerd Lakes area, just might be that hidden gem that you didn't know you needed. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything about living in the Brainerd Lakes area, make sure you subscribe below, tap that bell for notifications, so that way you can be the first to know what's going on in the current market here in the Brainerd Lakes area. My name is Noah Gedker. We get calls, texts, emails all the time for people just like you looking to make their move to the lakes area, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. And all the info is in the description below. And we'd love to help you make a smooth move to the Brainerd Lakes area. All right, let's address the giant mountainous elephant in the room. Colorado has mountains. I get it. Totally get it. But guess what? Minnesota has over 10,000 lakes. Actually, probably closer to 20,000 lakes, depending on how you count it. That's not just a marketing slogan, it's an actual fact. And in the Brainerd Lakes area alone, there's around 500 stunning lakes, including the Gull Lake chain, the Whitefish chain, North Long Lake, Pelican Lake, and so many other premium lakes. And if you're a skier or a snowboarder, worried about losing the powder days, we've got skiing too. Mount Ski Gull is definitely not Vail, but hey, at least the lift tickets aren't going to require refinancing that home you're in now. And there's some better ski places up closer to Duluth, so pretty close. Take a day trip or whatever, but there's options. So here's a shocker: Colorado has gotten expensive. Median home prices in Denver recently topped $600,000, and that's just the median. Compare that to Minnesota, where the statewide median price is around $335,000, and here specifically in the Brainerd Lakes area, it's very similar to that. At a median price range of right around 350, and depending on, the neighborhood, can be way less than that. Just think, for less than you'd spend on, crowded townhouse in Boulder, you could own serious lakefront property here in the Brainerd Lakes area. And get this, you could even park in your car in your own driveway without an HOA complaint. Quite revolutionary, I know. All right, let's talk weather. Yes, Minnesota winters are cold. Not a surprise to anyone, but let's be honest. Colorado isn't exactly Hawaii. You have snowstorms in June, 70 degrees in December. Minnesota winters are at least predictable, predictably cold, predictably, well, not always snowy, but we will get snow. Good for snowmobiling, skiing, ice skating. The snow sticks around. It doesn't melt by the afternoon like it does in Colorado. Outdoor ice skating, unique Minnesota traditions, to also include with that complaining about the weather or complaining about the cold while secretly actually enjoying it. So maybe it's part of why Minnesotans live longer than most of the other states in the union, because we're frozen half the year. Who knows? Summers in the Brainerd Lakes area are pretty unmatched. There's no wildfires, filling your lungs with smoke, no drought restrictions, just sunny days, cool lake breezes, and zero humidity. Oh, okay, I might be exaggerating on that part, but you get my point. It's fun? Not spending half your life stuck on the I-25 or I-70. Denver traffic has officially lost its charm. Here, a traffic jam might be, waiting behind 4 cars at a stop sign near Zorba's, on a busy weekend. Plus, fewer crowds mean more elbow room, at your favorite brewery or golf course. Imagine going out to dinner without making reservations 3 weeks in advance. Pretty crazy thought. When it comes to property investment and lake lifestyle, owning a property in the Brainerd Lakes area isn't just about buying a home. It's investing in a lifestyle that's becoming increasingly valuable. We see that with lakefront appreciation increasing at a much rapid pace than non-lake or lakefront properties. Some of these higher end lake homes on the Gull chain or the Whitefish chain, we're talking like for short-term rental properties, $50 to $100,000 a year or more. Meanwhile, your Colorado friends are struggling just with the rising interest rates on their overpriced mountain home. While that's going on, you're kicking back on your dock, renting out your cabin, when you're not there, and letting it pay for itself. Well, what a great idea. 40% of the homes in this area are second homes or cabins, vacation homes, what have you. People buying homes up here to enjoy for their own family and maybe pass on to the next generation, but at the same time renting it out a bit to have it pay for itself, whether completely or partially, and potentially even have income on top of that. All right, next, let's talk community. The Brainerd Lakes area, it's not just a place, it's a lifestyle. We've got award-winning golf courses all over the area, endless trails for biking and hiking, legendary fishing. I mean, everywhere you go, you can find great fishing. I'm not a fisherman, but if you're looking for a great fishing guide, I can help you there. Really awesome restaurants, I think Bar Harbor is a great restaurant. I mean, and then a lot of more casual restaurants, of course, but they're really great. I mean, Zorba's, Rafferty's, Burritos California. There's just a bunch of really good options for restaurants in the area, depending on what you're looking for. It's just very easily accessible. And again, you just don't have the long lines that you might get out in Colorado, right? Not waiting 2 hours for brunch ever. Finally, we're at this point. I was putting it off and debating whether to talk about this, but it's got to be addressed. Let's talk crime, because we both know you've been waiting for this one. And hey, this isn't about scaring anyone out of Colorado, but let's face it, Denver is no stranger to the headlines. Yes, I'm looking at you, OJ Simpson. In 2024, Denver's violent crime rate was approximately 172% higher than the national average. Yeah, you heard that right, 172% higher. And property crime, 84% above the national average. It's hard to relax and enjoy those mountain views when you're constantly looking over your shoulder and having to check your security cameras. Meanwhile, Minnesota, specifically the Brainerd Lakes area, crime rates sit well below, 45% below the national average for violent crime and 30% below the national average for property crime, according to recent FBI and neighborhood scout statistics. In other words, your biggest worry might be that someone's going to borrow your ice auger for a little bit too long or without asking. So unless you prefer, daily doses of adrenaline courtesy of Porsche pirates and catalytic converter enthusiasts, maybe you move to the Brainerd Lakes area, sounding pretty appealing right about now. So is it worth swapping the Rockies for the lakes? Affordability, year-round outdoor fun, and a more relaxed pace of life sounds appealing with less risk of crime affecting you, then maybe it's time you gave Minnesota, and specifically the Brainerd Lakes area, a serious look. And listen, moving states isn't easy, but that's exactly why we're here, to help make this transition be stress-free, smooth, and maybe even a little bit of fun. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, make sure you shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, or schedule a Zoom call. All the info, again, is in the description box below, and we'd love to help you make a smooth move to the Brainerd Lakes area. And don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell for notifications, and until next time, I'll see you around the Brainerd Lakes area.